The Widow's Ledger, Savannah, Georgia, March 2025. The air in Christchurch smelled of camellias and old money. Eleanor Hearn stood at the back of the nave in a black silk dress, cut just above the knee, respectful but not dowdy, and watched every seat fill with people who had never once invited her to lunch. Spanish moss pressed against the stained glass windows like gray lace, and the ceiling fans turned slow enough to make the morning feel deliberate. She was 62, still tall, still ramrod straight from years of horseback riding and pretending everything was fine. Her silver hair was swept into a low chignon, held by the same pearl comb her mother had worn to Eisenhower's second inaugural. In her right hand, she carried a crocodile Kelly bag, older than half the mourners. In her left, a leather-bound New Testament that had belonged to her grandmother, Confederate general's wife and rumored poisoner of Yankee officers. Up front, beneath the marble plaque that read Hearn, 1781, her husband of 41 years lay in a closed casket draped in magnolia leaves. Whittaker Langston Hearn IV, called Five by everyone who wanted a favor, took the pulpit in a navy suit that cost more than most people's cars. Five was 38, a junior partner at Daddy's firm, and had the same weak chin her father never quite grew into. Five cleared her throat. Daddy always said family wasn't just blood. Sometimes family is the person who shows up when the rest of the world is too busy. A rustle went through the pews like wind through marsh grass. I want to thank someone who was there for him every single day these last 10 years, Five continued, voice trembling with rehearsed grief. Miss Camille Devereaux. Every head swiveled. Camille rose from the front pew, 38, honey blonde legs for days, wearing a black sheath dress that hugged like it had been sewn on in the limo. She dabbed one perfect tear with a lace handkerchief and gave a small, brave smile. Eleanor's fingers tightened on the leather testament until the leather cracked. The rector returned, murmured about graveside, and the congregation filed out beneath the live oaks, dripping resurrection fern. Eleanor waited until the owl cleared, then walked forward alone. She laid one gloved hand on the casket. "Goodbye, Wit," she whispered. "You always did love an audience." Outside, the March heat pressed down like a wet palm. Black limousines idled along East Harris Street. Camille stood beneath a magnolia tree, surrounded by mourners offering condolences as if she were the widow. Five hugged her like a sister. Eleanor watched from the church steps, the sun glinting off the gold clasp of her Kelly bag. Let them have their moment, she thought. The second act is mine. 2 days later, the law offices of Pinckney, and Price. The conference room smelled of lemon oil and Confederate ghosts. Portraits of bewigged ancestors glared down at the mahogany table where Whittaker's will was about to be read. Eleanor sat at the far end in a cream linen suit, legs crossed, pearls glowing against tanned collarbones. Camille sat opposite in emerald silk, color of money and victory. Five fidgeted beside her, scrolling Instagram under the table. Old Mr. Pinckney, third generation, hair like Spanish moss, cleared his throat. To my beloved companion, Camille Marguerite Devereaux, I bequeath Whittaker Plantation, including the main house, all outbuildings, 260 acres of prime marshfront land, the contents of my personal accounts at Coastal Trust,
and my collection of antebellum silver." He kept reading. Eleanor heard the numbers the way other people hear bullets. $23 million. The Charleston condo. The yacht named Southern Belle. The vintage rolls. When Pinckney finished, the room was silent except for the tick of the grandfather clock. Camille reached across the table and squeezed Five's hand. "He wanted us taken care of," she whispered. Eleanor opened her Kelly bag, removed the testament, laid it on the table like a loaded gun. "Before we all start signing anything," she said, voice soft as sweet tea, "there seems to be a small administrative matter." She flipped the testament open to the ribbon marker. Tucked between Revelation and Psalms was a single sheet of heavy cream paper folded thrice. Whitaker's handwriting, spidery, drunk, unmistakable. Mr. Pinckney adjusted his glasses. "Mrs. Hearn, page 2, paragraph 4 of the will refers to my lawful wife and helpmeet of 41 years, Eleanor interrupted. "Would you be so kind as to read the codicil aloud?" Pinckney unfolded the paper with trembling fingers. "If anything should happen to me before I fix what I broke, know this. I never divorced my first wife, Miss Lorraine Dupree of Mobile, Alabama, married June 14th, 1982, under Alabama law. Therefore, any subsequent marriage is null and void.
Everything I own belongs to my lawful widow, Eleanor Mayfair Hearn, and our daughter, 5. Forgive me, I was a coward. WLH IV, witnessed this 3rd day of March, 2025, by Dr. Samuel Rivers and Nurse Latanya Jones, Savannah Memorial ICU.